Good evening, I'm your host, Collin Wilder, joined with my colleague, Dale Griffin. Tonight we look at the mystery, the phenomenon of UFOs. Are they real? Are we indeed being visited by other creatures from other worlds? Tonight we will look at the evidence and talk to several credible witnesses, some of which wish to remain anonymous. Join us.
I noticed there was kind of like some strange lights, but there is like an airport, I think 5 or 10 miles away. But I looked up and I heard it. I did hear a strange noise coming over the radio, but I kept driving. It was September 14th, 2000, and I always take the back roads. I was on 66 going into Greenville. I'm the biggest skeptic whatsoever. That kind of stuff I really never have bought into, and I just kind of laughed it off. So I took the shortcut through this little country field. That's when I noticed my car was acting a little funny. I noticed the dashboard was kind of like dimming on and off. Next thing I know, it started stalling. I keep the car up to check with oil and everything. I'm a mechanic part-time, so it's like I know what I'm doing. So I'm thinking, what is going on here? It should be in fine tune. I popped open the hood, and then boom, this light hits out of nowhere. I headed back to the truck, tried cranking it up. And then 20 seconds later, 30 seconds, I think the lights phased out. It flew off northwest.
Though this man's wife left him a week after the interview, and she took the kids, it's stories such as these that lend a great deal of credibility to UFO cases. Our next encounter involves an elderly woman from a small town in Virginia reliving a horrifying experience.
It was August of '97, and my granddaughter goes to the university in Blacksburg. And we were driving along the countryside outside of town, and she looked over and said, "Grandma, is that something from the Air Force over there?" And I said, "Honey, them saucers." And she's like, "What?" I said, I pulled over and I said, "Them's flying saucers." And it scared me, and I was startled, and I pulled over to look. And she looked over and said, "Grandma, you okay?" And I was over doing deep breaths going, and I breathe like that when I get excited. It's just some rheumatism. And I just said, "Little girl, we're going to get ridiculed for this if we keep talking about it." She said, "Grandma, you got to report it." And I said, "I will report it, I will report it." But it was something up there, and there was 3 saucers hovering. And to this day, I hear little reports. My pastor said, you okay? You making that kind of statement to the media? I said, "Pastor, I wouldn't lie to you of all people."
Though she slobbered and coughed all over our microphone, she did prove to be a very sweet woman. Our next encounter takes us to the small town of Lizard Lick, North Carolina. Here we meet Bocephus and his lovely wife, Beulah.
Supper's ready! I said dinner time! I told you, don't you do that! Shut up, I said you stop bad-mouthing me right. You stop bad-mouthing me right now, Bocephus. I will come out there, don't you? All right, you asked for it.
Grass, and I don't think it's hoed that damn hose.
Told you not to bad-mouth me. Watch out. Oh, okay.
The information Bocephus revealed to us had to be taken with a grain of salt. He later told us that Pala Mountain was a UFO landing base.
I don't know what it was, but my damn wife came out and started nagging me. I was like, woman, you shut the hell up, but she wouldn't shut up. So I didn't get a real long look at it. But what I saw, man, it's got to be one of them there, them UOWs or whatever, man. I tell you, I don't know, man, but my damn wife, on the side note, I'm a whoop her ass if she damn does it. I'm on camera again. I was looking back down there, like I said, down at the briar patch, man, and the damn lights coming in, man. I looked up and I thought it might be one of them damn extra testicles, man, and I didn't know what the hell to do. Saw the bright light come across the sky, man. I don't know what it was, man, so I was put my hoe down. I'm not talking about my wife, it's this thing right here. Right, and next thing I know, man, the lights come down over there in that field, right? So I called up Jimmy and I said, Jimmy, you got to come pick me up, but don't bring that damn Ford driving skillet down through there. We'll never make it, buddy. You better bring that damn Chevy truck.
Seeing that this interview was going nowhere, we quickly moved to our next subject, a former military officer with top secret UFO information.
It was about 0300 hours, and my team and I were making our way back through the Mojave Plains, a small section of Nevada. We've been carrying out operations all day, training, so forth. When we noticed a strange bogey, for lack of a better term, moving in a southwesterly direction towards us. My men and I quickly responded and took up positions, both Delta and Alpha, directly 1/2 mile apart. Next, we're not exactly sure what happened. The craft, vehicle, whatever you'd like to refer to it as, just disappeared.
Explain bogey.
As that clown Dale sipped on his chamomile tea, Mr. X further explained the word bogey.
Well, there's all sorts of strange occurrences that I've been privy to, knowledge that I really don't think I should share. But I'll give you a little small example. One of my comrades, who I'll remain nameless, was, how should I say this, unnaturally spooked one evening. He was a pilot, flying back from a long series of training missions out west, when he saw what he could only refer to as an unidentified flying object, or UFO. And he said it was a very bright light, nothing like any aircraft in our arsenal. He thought at first maybe it had been some type of spy craft. At the time, we were still, in the Cold War. Not exactly sure what it was, and neither is he. Like I said, I don't want to speculate.
Mr. X was indeed a wealth of information. We had to ask him, how many government UFO cases go unreported?
I hate to just take a wild guess, but I'll say per year, 4,312.
Amazing! We then asked Mr. X what the government might do if they find him revealing this highly classified and top secret information.
Well, once again, I must say I really don't want to speculate on that, but maybe I can tiptoe around it. They may do something as small as make me pay extra income taxes, or something as simple as cut off all my toes and boil them and make me watch, or something not really that bad, like stick hot bamboo shoots under my fingernails and then make me tap dance while wearing a tutu. Yeah, it's endless. They're very well trained in interrogation, and they will extract the information that they need. Let me be very clear in saying that I'm very fearful of any repercussions from our government over any information that I may divulge. But on the same note, oh my God, if you people knew what was out there, there's thousands of them, thousands. Oh my God, look. I brought something from home. It's a reproduction of the same craft that came down and I believe took me away on that fateful evening.
Similar to the Reno, Nevada report a few years ago. Hold the model up higher, Commander. Yeah.
Very, very similar.
I made it myself.
1980, 98.
89, actually.
Oh.
Ooh, they're coming. They're coming. Ooh.
After the sedation wore off, Mr. X referred us to a former colleague of his who was a little more reluctant to reveal his information regarding UFOs.
Yes, I did work for a government agency. This information I am revealing is classified, at least it was 10 years ago. I don't think anyone should go through this information. I don't think anyone should go through this kind of experience because I feel like I'm still being followed. I do want to say that the government has back engineered a UFO and it is flyable. I'm still in fear of my life. They seem to be everywhere. What the heck is going on here? You guys know.
Esa noche estaba limpiando en Arecibo, en el telescopio Arecibo, entonces yo estaba trabajando, limpiando las cosas, lo más bien. De momento vinieron unas luces por el cielo, eran como dos luces, se acercaron hacia mí y me dio mucho miedo, entonces yo me asusté, traté corriendo, me fui a acostarle porque creía que venían para mí, me trataron de meter muchas cosas. ¿Tú una toalla? Que tengo el piso, gracias, una toalla por aquí, entonces me vine para acá porque agua, venga, demasiado, entonces vinieron la gente a... que no, la garganta se me sube porque vinieron, trataron de meterme una cosa por el pecho, entonces usted tiene una afeitadora, porque mira, está aquí una afeitadora, gracias, aquí, para meter. Entonces no podía más lo que me iban pasando, pero estaba lo más bien, no sabía qué iba a hacer después de eso, entonces tenía no más.
UFOs are indeed a worldwide phenomenon. Our next segment delves into alien encounters.
So anyway, I'm down there. Sorry about that, dog. Anyway, I'm down there and you know. So I figure, you know, this motherfucker's gonna get like hostile and I mean, it's like something like that Predator, you know. You seen Predator and right? You know, that thing coming out of the trees and Anyway, I'm not gonna take none of that man. I pull out my fucking 9, man. Motherfucker, right? And he just stands there and like looks at me, dog. You know, he just like looks me in the eyes and And I mean, I didn't know what to do, you know. They think you're gonna catch a nigga, you know, unprepared and No, hell no, dog, right? I got my backup gear. You know, I see like 2 more of them motherfuckers coming out. So I just take this motherfucker, I pitch it, I break out the hardware, you know what I'm saying, dog, right? You know, motherfuckers. So anyway, I mowed like 5, 6 of them bitches down, you know what I'm saying? With my boys.
Who are the boys?
From city streets to densely thicketed woods, UFOs seem to find their way around, as we soon learn from a local Boy Scout who wishes to share an incredible experience. Break it down.
We were in the middle of, roasting marshmallows, and our scout master was telling one of his famous campfire stories. Nothing worse than being left all by yourself, the only one who was left there alive. That's just because I could run faster than the others. Wildlife was running along with me too, so it must have been frightened because I was running alongside a deer, and there's even a bear, I think. I don't know. It was really pretty, it was kind of almost surreal because everything was together. No, you know, they were animals that should have killed one another running side by side.
We had to ask him if this experience affected him psychologically.
Can I sleep at night? No. Have I had other visitations? Well, I believe I have. I wake up in the middle of the night with bright light shining through the windows, and I pull the sheets up over my head, and, well, I just don't know what's going to happen then.
Nothing like being in the Scouts. Our next subject was a young man who underwent an inexplicable adventure.
I'll tell you what I remember. It was a night in October when I took a vacation to a cabin. I wanted to get away from things for a while, so I drove up there, and it was a regular old day. I did some fishing. It was a little bit after 10:30 that evening. I was turning off the TV, turning off the lights. I was going to the bedroom. I stopped to the bathroom to brush my teeth, and power flickered for a brief second, and then this bright light comes, like it just shines through the windows. It's like day, and this is around 11 or so at night, and there are these bright lights everywhere. I remember getting up, sitting up in the bed, and I see this big cloud of smoke, and it's rolling through the bedroom door, and it's coming towards me. And that's when I saw this being. It was like two creatures approaching from behind the smoke, and I realized soon enough that these aren't human. These are aliens. I mean, that's all I could say. The aliens were in my bedroom, and they were speaking telepathically, because I could hear voices in my head saying, you know, it's okay, everything will be fine, we did not come to harm you. And then that's when the lead one, which I thought was the leader, it was a gray, there was a gray creature and a green one. The gray was always at the front, and he pulled out this tool of some kind, and I started to panic, and he said to me, again, this is all telepathy, but he said to please be calm. We're not going to hurt you. We just want to stick this up here.
Asteroids pose another severe threat to our planet, but that is another story. We soon met up with a quack from some learning institute that we still can't get anything on.
A top university. I think one of my 50 volumes of written works should speak for itself. I've written on every type of UFO experience that has been known to man and animal.
We had to ask, did this experience also include the popular alien probe?
Let me tell you, you've never experienced the alien probe. You don't know what uncomfortable is. The probing is the most awful and excruciating pain that one can imagine. Imagine having a metal thing shoved up your rear end and 1 million volts of electricity surging through your body at one time. I can't describe it. Every hair stands up on end. You think that you're dead and alive at the same time. I'd rather not talk about it.
He then went on to describe what these aliens do to you once they've got you in their grasp.
Oh, they've examined pretty much every cavity that you can imagine. Any orifice on any creature. They seem to have a fascination with holes.
Before we finished filming this episode, an anonymous phone call was received from a man in a small town who wished to come forth and report some recent UFO activities.
Oh man, I'll tell you about that thing, man. I was going down, like I said, going down through the field, and there's a Billy Bob driving the skillet down through there, and I had to hit the heifers all over the place, man, and trying to hit a boom all over the place, man. Got cow gets over here, three sheet in the mud, man. I'm to wake up and the trousers and pants all around my ankles, man. Man, tell you what, man, that dang thing come bright lights, big city, man. Didn't know what to do.
Though this man's experience was life-altering, he was soon able to express himself eloquently about the events that transpired that evening.
Woo! Fried steaks, fried side of fried pies, fried okra. Taking them damn spark plugs. I'm a little weird, something like that, man. My buttock area. Just like Bobby Unser said, man, maybe that corn mash that was doing it to me. Woo! We were 3 sheets of damn wind, man.
We soon had to lead him back to the original path of this interview and ask him what he remembers about that night.
I don't really remember a whole much about that except, you know, the part about the 3 feet and then the pants around my ankles, man. I ain't real proud of that. Ain't something I go around and tell the preacher, you know.
We don't blame you. We then asked him if he had any other witnesses to this event.
I told Joe Bob about it, and you know, he appreciated it. He said, you know, he saw something funny too, but he was too busy driving skid down through that field, man, trying to avoid them heifers that was out there grazing that night. And I said, you know, well, let's just keep this between us. He said, that's great, man. We'll do that. And next thing I know, you know, everything's back to normal, man. Just got a little strange pain every now and again up the lower back, around my, you know, my buttock area. You know, I'm not exactly sure what that's from. It might be a little hay I towed around all day down there on the farm, but you know. I'm not really worried about it. The doc says I'll be okay. I don't really like to go to the doctors. You know, they're kind of crazy. They're all quacks, man. I tell you what, man, there's some kind of crazy stuff going on down there, man.
So, Collin, what was your opinions of all this? Got some good interview subjects.
I would have to say that the old woman, I forget her name, though she's very sweet, she came up and asked me how to get out of the building several times.
She was senile, but I thought there was a lot of legitimacy to her report, and then with that, the other interview subject.
I would say Mr. X was one of our most credible witnesses.
Commander X, yes, and I think it's a lot of psychological disturbance with him. He's a polite young man, and
Mr. X did seem a little disturbed.
Yeah, he was polite, but it was like there was some burdens over him, and Commander X was. I think it's going to be really good. There was a lot of meat on that report.
Yes, there was, especially when Mr. X decided to show us that model that was eerily similar to the reports before mentioned.
Yeah, sure. Well, yes, and I didn't know if he knew of that. I wanted to mention that to Commander X. I was like saying, "Are you familiar with those Reno reports?" I was there firsthand for those Reno reports over the internet. I had a friend in the Reno area, and he emailed me those reports, and it was similar. And I meant to ask the commander that.
If I have to say Mr. X one more time, you flaming fucker.
You little bastard, you don't hold a candle to my...
And so the debate rages on over the phenomena of UFOs and alien encounters. Will there be a time where we could look to our cosmic neighbors and ask for an extra stick of butter, perhaps some sugar? All I can say is we must keep our eyes open to the sky. Until then, I'm Collin Wilder. See you on our next journey. Good night. This has been a Phenomena Productions presentation.